Alright, what's going on, guys? It is Josh L 2000. I'm back on my second video of the day. This is going to be my Super Bowl predictions for this coming 2017-2018 season. And I'm going to tell you all the teams that make it into the playoffs and what happens and what leads up to the Super Bowl. Alright, so we're going to try to do this in one take. We're going to see how it goes. I don't know if I'm going to run out of camera battery, if my phone's going to die on me, but we're going to try to do this as quick as we can, and I'm going to try to explain it as good as I can. Now, I know this is going to be very ballsy, but I do predict the Packers to go 15-1. I know, very ballsy, and I know I'm kind of biased because I'm a Packers fan, but I honestly think they're going to go 15-1. I looked at their schedule, and I honestly do think they're only going to potentially lose to Pittsburgh. I would love for them to go 16-0 like I know they can, but the only team I see them losing to is Pittsburgh. And they're the number 1 seed in the NFC that I predict. The number 2 seed would be the Seattle Seahawks at 12-4. Number 3 seed would be the Dallas Cowboys at 11-5. And the number 4 seed would be the Atlanta Falcons at 10-6. Now my 2 wild cards, the first one is the Giants at 10-6, and my other wild card is the Eagles at 9-7. I know that's a shocker to all of you. The Eagles, nobody likes the Eagles. They think they're garbage. They have a really young quarterback in Carson Wentz, and he's an up and coming star. He's really, really good. So I really do think the Eagles will make that last wild card. Now, going on to the wild card games, the Cowboys will be taking on the Eagles, and the Falcons will be taking on the Giants. Now, I do think that the Giants are going to knock out the Falcons. I think the Falcons are going to choke this year. They're not going to go as far as they did last year. And I think the Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles. I'm sorry, Carson Wentz, but Dak Prescott is really good. So I think that the Cowboys are going to beat them. Moving on to the divisional rounds, I got the Packers versus the Cowboys, number 1 seed versus number 4 seed, and the Seahawks versus the Giants, number 2 seed and number 3 seed. And I believe the Packers will beat the Cowboys and the Seahawks, or the Giants will beat the Seahawks. And the Packers and Giants will face in the NFC Championship, and the Packers will go to the Super Bowl. I really hope it happens. I do predict them to go all the way this year. Now, this is going to be another shocker because I know I have a lot of friends that are Patriots fans, but I only predict them to go 12-4. I know, you all are going to hate me, but I predict them to go 12-4. I see them losing to the Steelers, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Texans. I know you guys are thinking, oh, Texans, they're garbage. All these other teams are garbage. Texans have a young quarterback, Deshaun Watson. He was very, very good in college. And I really do think that he can knock off Tom Brady. Now, they're not the number 1 seed, though. Number 1 seed that I think is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers going 14-2. And my number 2 seed, obviously, the Patriots going 12-4. My number 3 seed is the Raiders going 11-5. And my number 4 seed is the Texans going 10-6. Now, my 2 wild cards are the Titans and the Kansas City Chiefs. And in those wildcard games will be the Raiders versus the Chiefs and the Texans versus the Titans. I do think that the Raiders will beat the Chiefs and the Texans will beat the Titans. So, moving on to the divisional round. The Steelers will be taking on the Texans and the Patriots will be taking on the Raiders. Now, this is going to be another shocker to you guys. Last year, I predicted the Raiders to go all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, I think the Steelers will knock off the Texans, and then the biggest shocker of them all, the Raiders are going to knock out the Patriots out of the playoffs. I really believe this. Not Dak Prescott, Derek Carr, Marshawn Lynch, all those guys, Amari Cooper, those guys are young, and I think they're gonna run all over the Patriots, and I think they're gonna go all the way to the Super Bowl. And like I said, all the way to the Super Bowl. Steelers and Raiders are versus the AFC Championship. And like I said, I do think the Raiders are going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, the Packers and the Raiders. The Raiders are my favorite team. Well, no, them and the Dolphins are my favorite teams in the AFC, and obviously the Packers in the NFC. But overall, the Packers are my favorite team. but I have the Packers winning at 35-28 in the 2018 Super Bowl. Now, and like I said, it's kind of biased because I'm a big fan of the Packers. As you can see back there, I got one of my Packers hats right there. And I don't know. I just honestly think that they're going to win this year. I know I've been saying that over all the years, all the Packers are going to go all the way, but they have a better defense this year. Our offensive line is still amazing. Aaron Rodgers is amazing. And, just our offense in general is a monster offense, and their defense is getting so much better with all the draft picks that we had this year. And, yeah, I do think the Packers are going to win this year. Now, I did tell my friends I would include their picks for this year's Super Bowl. Now, my friend Demetrius predicted that Green Bay is going to be up in the fourth quarter, but will choke, and the Patriots, who he picked also to be in the Super Bowl, will win with a touchdown 21-17. I'm sorry, D, that's not going to happen because they're not even going to make it to the Super Bowl. Another one of my friends, Cameron, predicted the Pats and Packers 28-14. My other friend Brianna predicted 32-28 Packers versus Patriots, and my friend Jason predicted 32-14 Patriots versus Packers. Now, they all predicted the Patriots to win. Like I said, guys, they're not even going to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be the Raiders and Packers. Gut feeling, I predicted it last year after last year's Super Bowl, and I really think that the Raiders are going to go all the way this year. All the way to the Super Bowl, at least. But they will get knocked out by the Packers, obviously. And like I said, I wrote down my little thing here that the Packers and the Raiders would be in the Super Bowl, winning 35-28. Now, one of my friends that I work with, her name's Brianna, she wrote down my predictions if the Patriots got into the Super Bowl. But like I said, if they got to the Super Bowl. I think it was 28-21, I'm not entirely sure. But that's if the Patriots got into the Super Bowl. Patriots and Packers. I honestly think, gut feeling, that it's going to be Raiders-Packers. You guys can disagree with me all you want, but I really think the Raiders are an up-and-coming team this year, and they're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl, face the Packers, and the Packers will knock them out, and Aaron Rodgers will get his second ring, and it'll just be all around amazing. Alright, I do want to thank you guys for watching this video. My Super Bowl predictions for the 2017-2018 season, or, playoff predictions, 2017-2018 season. That's probably what I'm going to name this video. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any video suggestions, leave them in the comments below. I do have a few videos in mind coming out. What I might do is, talk about the Packers' schedule in my next video. Tell them how much I think they're going to win by, blah, 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 all that stuff. And, yeah, any other video suggestions you guys really want, videos you really want me to make, let me know.